Hi there, I'm Jack. I've played Pokemon on and off since my first ever Pokemon game, Pokemon Diamond for the DS. Since then I've played a few Pokemon titles, mainly Brilliant Diamond and Scarlet and Violet. But there was always one pressing question. One question I always asked myself. What if I actually caught all the Pokemon? And in this series, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Pokemon ZA for the first time, and I'm going to catch every single Pokemon in the entire game. So get yourself some snacks, because we're diving straight in. So our adventure begins on a train with my character Jack. Really creative name? I know. We're scrolling shorts and then some unknown creature that watches us jumps in our bag. This thing is actually quite important for the story, but for now it's called the Green Slug. Then we meet Tawny. Tawny wants us to help record an advert for our hotel, Hotel Z. Hotel Z and Tawny are actually quite important for the story, so we will check in with these guys every so often. Once we finish recording our advertisement,
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am.
we realise our bag is missing, only for a wild Pancham to be running away with the bag. Naturally, we trace after the Pancham to get our bag back. Once we catch up to the Pancham, it's time to choose our starter. Okay, what Pokemon are we choosing, guys? I mean, I'm a massive Totodile guy, so I think that's going to be the choice here. With our starter Totodile chosen, we're immediately thrown into our first Pokemon battle with the people behind the Pancham and the ones responsible for trying to steal our bag.
You are not him! You are not him!
Absolutely annihilate the Pancham for stealing our stuff, and we successfully get our bag back. With our bag back, it then turns to night. This is when the battle zone opens. The battle zone is basically what Pokemon ZA is all about. There's a day-night cycle that happens during the game, and that night, that's when we can compete in the ZA ladder by battling other trainers and getting stronger. We'll talk a lot more about the battle zone later on, but for now, just think of it as trainers you fight before the gym leader. We then get our asses saved by a Floette with a black flower. Floette does what I like to call a power move by showcasing one of her unique attacks. Floette basically used this as a scare tactic because we aren't strong enough to compete in the ZA ladder just yet. With our butts saved, we make our way to Hotel Z, which is where we meet AZ, who is apparently around 3,000 years old. Who would have thought? Anyway, the old man saw our green slug come out our bag, and it seems to be a Zygarde cell. Zygarde is a part of a legendary Pokemon, so I assume we will be catching that later on in the game. The next morning we're taught how to dodge roll. This is because wild Pokemon, especially alphas and mega evolved Pokemon, actually target us rather than our Pokemon, so dodging is actually extremely crucial to get through these encounters. You could say I had a little fun with this. So after whatever the hell that was, we get introduced to wild zones, which is where we catch wild Pokemon in this game. Basically think of this as one massive patch of long grass. However, like Pokemon Scarlet and Arceus, we can choose which encounters we want rather than it being random. This is where we encounter Pokemon number 2 of the Pokédex, Fletchling, and I had this really awkward moment. Boom.
God, bro. Oh, hell no.
Oh, what? Really? Now we can pick up Fletching for real this time and move on to the rest of the Pokemon in this area, which are Bunnelby, Scatterbug, Weedle, and Mareep. There are actually 2 more Pokemon left in this area, but we need to learn Rock Smash from the Pokemon Professor of this region, which is where we're going next. Once we reach the Professor of this area, we find out her name is Mabel. Basically, Mabel tricked us into doing work for her, and these things are called Mabel's Research. Mabel's Research is basically challenges for us to complete, such as fighting new Pokemon, catching new Pokemon, using certain types of Pokemon, you get the idea. These research tasks are actually extremely important for us as we get unlocks such as the Shiny Charm and the Master Ball. We will be working on these in the background as we go, just know that I'm doing as many as I can as we get through the story. So I forgot to mention, but Tawny recruited us to her Pokemon battle team, Team MZ. Nuveen is one of the members of the team, and this is the first time we're meeting him. Bear with me now as we get through the tutorial area. It's actually so long, and the reason I'm not showing any Pokemon battles is because there's actually none since we picked up Totodile. Anyway, she gave us some drip and my reaction says it all. Oh. That's the hat that you thought I would like. Yeah, I'm definitely taking that off, G. So we go back to the area that needed Rock Smash earlier, and we catch a Pidgey and a Pichu. For some reason I've lost the footage of catching Pidgey, so you will just have to trust me. Anyways, here's me failing to catch Pichu for 25 minutes, I wish I was joking. Anyway, we now have caught all the Pokemon in Wild Zone 1, so let's move on to the next part. When we return home for the day, our phone pings to tell us our next rank up match is against Zack. Basically, this is how the battle zone works. We go into the battle zone and we defeat trainers until we get enough rank up points or whatever they are called. Once we get them, we then can go to Zack's location and defeat him to rank up, and we rinse and repeat that until we get to rank A. Or maybe we'll skip up ranks at some point. Anyway, while I'm getting the points to rank up, why not consider subscribing to the channel? I make these videos every week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another upload in my journey of getting all the Pokemon. Now we've got enough points to face off against Zack. I like to think of this as a gym battle from older games, just framed a different way. So once we beat Zack, we'll rank up to Y. I have some live commentary for you on this fight, so I hope you enjoy. If you want to see more live reactions, check me out on Twitch, link in description. He's gonna abolish all forms of transport except the taxi. Yeah, what a dream. Oh, we got Bite now. Must have got Bite when we leveled up. It's a dark move, so... it'll annihilate Slowpoke. A Pidgey? Okay, I see you. Okay, here we go. Last Pokemon. Pikachu, okay. We need to be careful here. Could be super effective. He's not attacking us though. Oh, there we go. It's fine, we're still gonna kill him anyway. There we go. Bam. 100 losses. Oh, and we're ranking up. Rank Y. This is gonna be a long journey, guys, I'm not gonna lie. We have to go from Z to A. A long journey. We now meet Emma, who watched us impressively defeat Zack. Emma is the detective in the city, and she's looking for a 4-legged Pokemon with black legs. IMO, I need a bit more information than that to go on, as a lot of Pokemon have 4 legs, but anyway. Tawna is looking for someone, but she won't tell us the details, but that's why Emma's here. Emma also introduces us to side quests, Boo, which unfortunately has a bunch of Pokemon locked behind them, so we will be doing every single quest. So it's the next day now, and basically a bunch of nothing happened during that time, so we are doing something very exciting, which is meeting new Pokemon. So we're at Wild Zone 2, and we're going to catch all the Pokemon here as well. So we caught a Binacle, a Budu, a Magikarp, and a Patrat. With them all being caught, we also got our first evolution, which is Weedle turning into a Kakuna. Kakuna is actually one of the wild Pokemon in here, so we don't need to catch him. After catching those Pokemon, we meet Tawny by the Prism Tower, which is just like a big tower, I guess. It starts glowing and stuff at night, so I guess it's important. Anyway, this is apparently Tawny's favourite spot to get a coffee. You guys notice anything about these guys? They somehow look quite familiar to me. Anyway, we then get introduced to Vinny. Vinny is the CEO's assistant, so he's actually a big deal around these parts. He's quite an important character, but we can go over that in another video. Just know he's important. On the way to Wild Zone 3, we encounter Ivan, who is the owner of the Fist of Justice. Apparently his wish is to make all the Pokemon free roam and abolish the Wild Zones, which the people are scared about because Pokemon can be dangerous. Anyway, with Ivan's yap out the way, we get called out in front of everybody to fight one of his minions in the Fist of Justice. So we completely annihilate this member of the Fist of Justice, who then claims we fight like a rank G or a rank F, which seems unlikely since we're rank Y right now, so it's definitely just a coping mechanism. Anyway, we're free now to get all the Pokemon in Wild Zone 3 and continue our challenge. The start of this game is actually extremely slow and there's very limited battles, so I'm trying to cover as much of the stuff that's important while also showing you some cool fights. Just know it's not me, it's the game. I've genuinely fought like 5 battles in 2 hours at this point. So in Wild Zone 3 we pick up Flabébé, Skiddo, Litleo, Pikachu, Esper, and Pancham. Then we meet up with Emma and Tawny at the FBI headquarters. Emma tasks us with completing some side quests, which sounds terrible, but actually I was welcoming this, because at least I get to actually defeat some Pokemon and fight some trainer battles. So we immediately head to the graveyard, and this is where we pick up our first side quest. This old woman lost her ring to a Sableye, so we have to go in and get it for her. Luckily for us, she lost it in Wild Zone 4, which is exactly where we want to be anyway. So we caught a Spinarak, a Ghastly, which turns into the goat Pokemon Gengar, Spupa, Ekans, and finally the Sableye, which dropped the ring we need, so back to hand it in to the old woman. Then we handed our quest to the old woman, and I thought it would be a good idea to try collect one of these colourful scrolls with the big purple beam that are lying around. Anyway, it turns out I can't do jumping puzzles. Anyway, with that out of the way, we head to our second side quest, which is this woman called Tracy, who is obsessed with Pokemon that can evolve using stones. So she asks us to find her a Pikachu so she can evolve it to a Raichu. In return we get a Heracross, which sounds like a great deal for us. We already have the Pikachu from earlier, so we just gave her that one, and she gave us her Heracross called Boys. Anyway,
I'm with my
Anyway, that's the second side quest done. On to the last one. For now. Our last side quest for now is a guy called Travel, I don't know. Anyway, he wants us to follow him as he's sighted on Alpha Bunnel Bay and wants us to take it down. This is the first time the game has opened up in nearly 3 hours of gameplay, so I took the opportunity to get some sightseeing done in the city. On top of this building I'm on, I found 2 Pokemon outside of the wild zones. This Swirlix that was very easy to catch, and also 5 levels higher than any of my other Pokemon, so they will come very, very important for the upcoming Alpha fight. I also found an Abra, but I failed to catch it because I decided to use normal balls instead of just using an Ultra Ball, because I knew it was going to teleport away, which it did, so we didn't get this one. We head to the last known sighting of Alpha Bunnel Bay and we start battling it. I'll use this battle as time to explain Alphas. Alphas attack our Pokemon, but they can also attack us. Remember our combat role training there? Well, this is where you need to put it to good use. As the rest of this battle plays out, why not consider subscribing to the channel? I'm on the road to 100 subscribers on YouTube, at which point I'll be doing a face reveal and doing some stupidly hard challenge over on my Twitch channel. If any of that is interesting to you, drop me a subscribe on YouTube and check my Twitch out, the link is in the description. Now let's get back to the video. With the Alpha Bunnel Bay being defeated, we head back to Emma and Tawny. At this point, Emma has asked us to battle her so she can show us how our Mega Evolution works. Basically, you get stones in the game that you give to Pokemon to hold, and that allows them to Mega Evolve in combat. Basically, it just empowers them a bit like Dynamax from Sword and Shield. Anyway, we beat Emma and she shows our Pokemon Mega Evolving. Mega Evolving is going to be a big part of the next video, so we'll talk more about it then. So, I forgot to mention some Pokemon only come out during nighttime, so I had to wait till nighttime to get the Staryu. For some reason I thought this level 32 alpha version was the only Staryu in here. So I for some reason decided to battle it even though my Pokemon are 20 levels lower. Anyway, the Staryu obliterated my team, no surprise, so I had to run away and reconsider my options, and that's when I found a level 9 one just floating in the water, lol. We also grabbed Honedge since they're a nighttime Pokemon as well. Then we get to work in the battle zone so we can rank up to X after beating our rank up match. So we beat a bunch of trainers in the battle zone, we get these card things now, and basically they tell us to do something and we get more rank up points. It basically just speeds up the rank up process so we don't need to spend hours in here. Anyway, we got all the rival points that we need, so let's head over to our last rank up match of the video. So we meet Yvonne and finally battle to get to rank X. I also somehow forgot to record audio for this fight, so my live reaction isn't in the video sadly. But I'll just talk you through what happened. Basically, we used Totodile to clean the floor with Yvonne. Totodile is so strong now, I basically don't need any other Pokemon, so just imagine the rest of this fight as me spamming Bite and Water Gun on every single Pokemon until I win. With that being said, that's the end of the video. This is only the beginning of my series of catching all the Pokemon in Pokemon ZA. If you liked the video, remember to like, comment and subscribe on the video, and if you want to see me play live, I stream on Saturday and Sunday at 11 AM GMT on Twitch. I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye.